Whether we like it or not, Donald Trump won the election, and following that, every deranged MAGA politician across the country is salivating over the idea of just how wild this thing could get. And they're coming up with suggestions for what wild directions to take our politics. So here's today's example for you, being provided by Michigan State Representative Josh Schriver, who tweeted this: "Make gay marriage illegal again. This is not remotely controversial nor extreme." I mean, except that it is, because you're talking about taking away people's rights that they've had for years. I know that that's kind of the thing America does now, but I still feel like it's controversial. We'll get into the actual numbers. So here's his evidence for why they should do that. 20 years ago, Barack Obama was more conservative on marriage than many Republicans today. So what do you care? You hated Barack Obama. Like, what's the difference? America only accepted gay marriage after it was thrusted into her by a perverted Supreme Court ruling. And if you think that's an accident, the way he worded that, or if you think I'm going to pretend it's an accident, I'm not. He decided to write that it was thrusted into her by a perverted Supreme Court ruling. Okay, so look, you got to bear in mind, this guy's a Republican. At this point, I don't know, with all of what they seem to think about sexual assault and everything, that's a weird metaphor for you to use. From your point of view, shouldn't America just lie back and take gay marriage then? But anyway, America 2124 doesn't have to be as dysfunctional as America 2024. And look, I disagree with Josh Schriver about getting rid of gay marriage, but I do have to acknowledge that I was apparently wrong when I said the Republicans, now on the ascendant, wouldn't deliver for the actual crises facing American families. He's finding it right here. There's just too many people getting married and having happy lives, and he wants to end it, okay? And so look, we could talk about the numbers. Support for gay marriage is at 69%. Seems pretty popular. It seems controversial to reverse something that the vast majority of America seems to be perfectly fine with. But Yaz, what do you make of this?
Yeah, you know what? Everything is on the table now, right? Like, they've won the presidency, they've maybe won Congress, they have control of the courts, they can do whatever they want. Nothing is off the table. Everything is up for undoing, right? Everything that they want to do is an undoing of what has already been done. It is very regressive. It's the opposite of productive. We're not literally moving our country forward. Also, just get over it at this point. If gay people want to get married, how has their life, ever since gay marriage was legalized in this country, how have their lives gotten worse? Probably they haven't. Probably they have been the exact same. And also the note about how conservative Obama was back in 2008. Who cares how conservative Obama was back in 2008? The world was different back then. It was a completely different place. That was nearly 2 decades ago. And in these modern times, as quickly as things move, that is a long time, right? That was 16 years ago. And at the time, Obama was still very progressive for what he was, right? I think looking back now, we can say he could have been more progressive, but no, coming out of those Bush years, he was what we needed in 2008, right? So a lot of times, especially Gen Z, they like to say, oh, Obama wasn't there. No, because you weren't there, or maybe you were and you don't remember, but it was a big deal to have that guy there in the presidency in 2008 when he was there. And so going back and saying oh, he actually only thought, it doesn't matter. And also, he's not the president anymore. Also, Joe Biden isn't the president anymore. He's not about to be. So move on, but they don't really know how to do that. So.
And look, by the way, if you want to say 20 years ago, Barack Obama hadn't yet come out in support of same-sex marriage, and I think that's cowardly, because I feel deep to my core that he probably did actually support it, but was terrified of a homophobic response of the American electorate. And that's an indication that he wasn't as brave as he should have been until he did actually turn on that. You could say that or whatever, but that's an indictment of the American people as much as it is of Barack Obama or Hillary Clinton or many of the other Democratic politicians that probably were perfectly fine on a personal level with gay marriage, but were too cowardly to actually try to be leaders on that, because there were a lot of homophobes in America. And that sort of homophobia apparently hasn't gone away. And it's driven by a lot of things. Political pragmatism, I think, can drive some of it. personal issues. I know a lot of people love to throw around when you're one of these politicians that for some reason in 2024 is now calling for gay marriage to be reversed. That's an indication that you yourself maybe have some issues in that area. And I don't think that's fair. Don't say that. Don't tweet that at him. It's not a guarantee. It's perhaps evidence, but it's not a guarantee. So don't say that. Anyway, it's such, like, if you're a MAGA person, this is what they will give you. They will give you a bunch of stuff that when it happens, you ban gay marriage or whatever, you get to be like, yeah, screw those people. And then you have to go back to your life. And you will find that some couple in Portland no longer being legally married doesn't actually help you retire a day earlier. It doesn't actually help you buy a home. It has actually no effect on your life. This is the bread and circuses that we're talking about that they give you. It's to distract you, not to enrich you.